Ahoy hoy! Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about the good deed I did yesterday. So I was at a store in the village I live in here in Sweden, and I was at the register, and there was a woman and a man in front of me who had just finished paying and stuff. So they bag up their stuff quickly and they leave. So as I'm being rung up and I'm paying, out of the corner of my eye, I see a purse on the conveyor belt. Now here in Sweden, conveyor belt is a little bit longer than I think it is in the U.S. because you typically bag your own stuff here in Sweden. You don't have someone else do it. So it's a little bit longer at the end of after it goes through the register and all this other stuff. And her purse was on that, not on the actual conveyor belt, but like on the edge of it, And I remarked to the cashier, someone left their bag here. And she's like, ooh. And she takes the bag and she puts it away so no one else can get it or whatnot. So I pay my purchases, I bag my stuff, and I leave. And as I'm leaving, and I'm out of the store now, and I'm heading towards my car, out of the corner of my eye, I see the two that were in front of me. And I'm like, I wonder if she's the one that left her bag. So I get in the car. And I'm like, debating with myself whether to say anything or not, or let her realize that she left her purse in the store. But then I go through another debate of, well, if she isn't the person, then there's a 50% chance I will look stupid. But then if she is the person, there's a 50% chance I can help her get her bag back quicker. So 50-50. What do I have to lose, If she wasn't the person, oh well. If she was the person, I could help her quick, So I summoned up my courage because I have a disorder. Vague, I know. I've been saying that for over a year now. And some of you, especially if you've been subscribed to me for a while, are probably going, when the hell are you going to tell us what you have? In due time. I'm just not ready to talk about it yet. But social anxiety is a major symptom of it. I'm not good at small talk. Actually, I don't think I'm good at talking in general, which people might find surprising because I'm doing YouTube and stuff, which does require you to talk on video. I mean, not all the time. I mean, a lot of people do vids where they do captions and stuff, and I've thought about doing that, but then I I'll give it a shot. I think of it as pushing myself out of my comfort zone to do something, because I do like to entertain people and all, but when it comes to conversations and stuff, unless I know you well, I'm not good at it. I just suck at small talk and things in general and stuff. So if you ever wonder, especially when you watch my videos, you've been watching my videos for a long time, you've probably seen certain things that could indicate, yeah, she definitely has something. So, but also on top of that, on top of the social anxiety, it's very hard for me to approach people. It's one thing when I'm going to the store or, ordering food or something because my mind shifts or something. I'm pretty confident about ordering because, it's like, well, if I don't order, I don't get what I want. And if it's at a place that doesn't do like the kiosks, because that's becoming increasingly popular here, which I love, and it's the same thing in the U.S. too. I prefer that, but, there's some places here in Sweden where you do have to talk and say what you want if you want to have something. So, for me, it's a different mindset when I'm dealing with people that are, working with food or working retail or something like that. But then when it's a complete stranger or whatnot, it's a different story. I mean, I will say hi to somebody and I would say goodbye to them, but I will not strike up a conversation because I just suck at small talk. If I don't know you well, I'm not going to know what to say to you. And that's the real reality about me. So I hope this clears up some stuff, especially if you guys have ever wondered about how I am on camera, let alone if you're new to me, this could explain to you pretty quickly why I am sounding the way I am. So I have social anxiety. It's not major or even moderate. I mean, in my head, I don't feel like it is, but considering the type of disorder I have, I think it's safe to say a lot of people in society would think that it's a little bit more moderate than mild. But, yeah. So it was kind of hard for me to approach the woman, but I'm like, if I don't tell her, I don't want her to not worry about where her purse is, or what happened to her purse, if it is the person. So, gather up my courage, go up to the woman, and I basically said, do you still have your purse on you? Which is a stupid question to ask, I might say, but there it is. And she looks at me like I grew a second head. Well, here's the thing. As I say, I do live in Sweden. I am from the United States. I am from Maryland, in particular. Another thing about the social anxiety aspect is that I have never been confident in my, I want to say oral skills. That's actually probably the best thing to say when it comes to talking, because, I don't feel like I'm a good conversationalist. I mean, it's not just not coming up with small talk and stuff. It's also, I grew up with a learning disability. And, that kind of wrecked my confidence about how I talk to people, let alone I was bullied quite badly as a kid. So that factors into more of why I'm apprehensive and stuff. And so anyway, if you think that's bad just being in your native language, try being in a country where English is not your first language. And here's the thing, I do know Swedish. I do better at it with reading and writing it, but I'm not good with talking it. Part of the reason is that it's kind of hard to convey 100% of what's up here and translate it out here. And not to mention, some things in English do not exist in Swedish, and vice versa. So if I want to say, do you still have your purse on you? I cannot translate that 100% the way it is in English into Swedish. Because it's a different construct and stuff. I could try to say, I don't even know how to start that off. I guess to say, har du stilla din väska? But I just wasn't confident enough to say that. So I say this, and she looks at me like I grew a second head. So I knew immediately she didn't understand 100% of what I was saying, either because she doesn't understand English well or because I said it so fast. Because I know even among people in the U.S., I can talk fast, and that happens a lot too when I'm nervous. So, yeah. But the man she was with, and he was closer to my age, he seemed to understand what I was saying. And he asked I don't know if it was his mom, his grandma, his aunt. I don't know how he was related to her. Maybe they were co-workers. But he understood what I said and was able to relate it to his woman companion and stuff. And here's the thing, too. In Sweden, especially nowadays, kids do learn how to speak English when they're 9. But prior to World War II, Swedes were taught German instead, and then of course after what happened, they switched to English. So a lot of people that were from the World War II generation and before that don't know English as much as the younger generations. But I mean, I know my significant other's parents started learning English in school, but it's not common for them to speak English as much as the younger generations and stuff. But anyway, so he was able to convey to her what I was trying to ask, and she looks at her, she's like, "Oh," and I knew in Swedish what she was saying because even though I can't talk Swedish well, I can understand what people are saying to an extent. And she realized she didn't have her purse with her, so I made the right call. So I escorted her back into the store, and I showed her her purse that was behind the counter, got the cashier's attention, and told her this is the woman that left her purse behind. And the lady patted me on the back, and I left knowing that I helped a woman get her purse back. And not going through the worries about what happened to my purse if I had left before I asked. So yeah. And then when I relayed the story to my daughter, she asked me, did I get a reward? Like, did I get money for it? No. Would have been nice, yes. But I didn't do it to get a reward. I did it because if I was in her shoes, I would hope that someone would take the time to let me know that I left my purse behind and help me get my purse back. Because I feel like that's more important to help someone out rather than get a reward from it. Rewards are nice, don't get me wrong. If she would have offered me money, I may have considered taking it, although probably not. I would have been like, no, I just did this to help you out. Because I do like helping people. For me, getting the feeling that I helped someone out is a lot more rewarding than a reward like, say, money or, I mean, if she decided to buy me something, like buy me food or whatever, I've been fine with that. But I didn't help her to get a reward. I help her to get her purse back so she doesn't get worried and go like, oh, where's my purse? I did it to help her out because I would hope if I'm in a similar situation, someone would take the time out of their day to help me out, So, yeah. So that's my good deed that I did yesterday. What kind of good deeds have you all done? And the thing is, too, like, one of my goals, my goals have, like, changed a bit in the last year. The only goal I still have from when I was younger is I want to live until I'm over 100 years old and near my condition. That's the only goal I have since I was a kid. What I want to do in life, that has changed a bit. But wanting to live to be over 100, that has not changed. But like one of my goals that I came up with in the last year or two is that I want to help people out. And I've always been like that on some level, but I never really considered a career that could help someone out. I mean, I wanted to become a professional entertainer once upon a time. And I would use money to donate to charities and stuff, and help causes out. But I wouldn't actively choose a career to help someone out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've decided to do now, just in case you don't know. And I guess maybe this is a little update video too, other than talking about how I helped someone out yesterday. Like, one of my new goals is to help people and to leave my mark on the world positively, And I figured that doing something involving with disaster preparedness or doing it as a consumer advocate where I test products for safety is one of those things, I just get a joy out of helping people because it makes me feel good and stuff. So, yeah. So, what kind of good deed have you done before, or have you done any good deeds recently yourself? Do you work in a job that helps people? Do you enjoy doing that kind of work? And it doesn't have to be profit. It could be non-profit too, you know. So yeah, if you like this video, smash the like button. If you subscribe, I'll be absolutely delighted, and I'll see you all later. Toodles.